And now, from 12 Studios, this is News 12 Now.
Welcome to News 12 Now for this Tuesday, February 11th. I'm Robin Key. Another deadly plane crash. This time, an old private plane made in Texas landed aggressively at an Arizonan airport, sliding into a parked business jet. One person is dead and at least 3 others are hurt. Chris Van Cleef has the latest.
Dramatic video of a Learjet as it lands at the Scottsdale, Arizona airport Monday afternoon. Shortly after touching down, it appears the left main landing gear collapses, sending the plane veering off the runway, crashing right into a parked Gulfstream 200.
Just maintain your altitude and enter a right base. Expect to go around when you just had an emergency.
Firefighters were on scene within a minute.
We have 1 fatality still in one of the planes. They were dead on arrival.
In addition to the 1 person killed, at least 3 others were injured. 2 were rushed to local trauma centers in critical condition. The other transported with non-life-threatening injuries. A 5th person was treated at the scene.
Our thoughts and prayers for the individuals on the aircraft. It's certainly a tragedy that occurred.
The plane, built in 1989, was coming from Austin, Texas. Preliminary flight data shows its last reported speed at around 63 miles an hour as it veered off the runway. The Lear 35A is owned by Motley Crue lead singer Vance. A statement posted by his lawyer says he was not on board and that his thoughts and prayers go out to everyone involved. The NTSB will study that video of the accident to try to understand why the gear collapsed, but also look at the plane's maintenance records, and if it has an onboard voice or data recorder, they will seek to retrieve that as well. The Scottsdale Airport is a very busy airport in the Phoenix area, but it is primarily used by private planes and business jets. Chris Van Cleef, CBS News, Scottsdale, Arizona.
Speaking of difficult travel, Brian, this morning was not great to drive in when coming into work. Are people going to have the same issue when they're picking their kids up from school?
We should be good to go this afternoon. Rain chances have now wrapped up, but it is going to be cold and cloudy like what you currently see here on our TMC tower cam. So that's actually the good news, is it looks like the ground has dried up even with the abundant cloud cover. So that's a good start. It's trying to not to feel as miserable out there. We've been stuck with this gloomy, cold, winter-like pattern here for the last several days. And honestly, it doesn't look like it's going to change much. There's our system pushing eastward quickly. But yeah, we got some thunderstorms out of the deal through the overnight. And even though it is rather cold out there this afternoon, it is not freezing. So we have actually upper 30s to lower 40s across a good deal of the area here. And once again, that's not expected to change. Actually, this is expected to linger through the next several days. So one more rain chance as we head in the overnight tonight and into your Wednesday morning before we actually get an Arctic blast following that. Doesn't last long though, because another big front is on the way for this weekend, and we'll break down all the latest details on what you can expect with that coming up in your full forecast. Till then, back to you, Robin.
An Ardmore man is dead after a crash in Love County over the weekend. It happened on State Highway 77 northeast of Marietta. OHP says there were 3 people in a pickup when it crashed. The driver, Garrett Young of Marietta, and a passenger were not hurt. But another passenger, Dustin Kitchens, was flown to an Oklahoma City hospital where he died from his injuries. The cause of the crash is under investigation. And the man accused of killing his 21-year-old friend in Choctaw County last week has been officially charged. And we're learning more about the investigation. It happened last Monday in Grant. Court documents state a witness heard a gunshot and saw Ricky Johnson walking away from an overgrown lot. The woman tried to speak to him, but he drove away. That's when she went back to the lot and found Dawson Bosick with a gunshot wound. He later died in a Paris hospital. Law enforcement says when questioning Johnson, he told him he left Bosick at a nearby casino and he took Bosick's car, but Johnson stopped speaking to them when asked about the shooting. Johnson is charged with first-degree murder. Ada police continue to investigate a drive-by shooting from over the weekend. Shots were fired at a home on West 6th Street Saturday night, causing damage to the house. A woman was shot and taken to an Oklahoma City hospital. She's expected to recover. The Ada Police Department continues their extensive investigation into the shooting.
we're going to start investigating this like it's an attempted homicide and work back to where it tells us, the evidence shows us something different. We take this very seriously. We've reached out to the ATF. We've collected some evidence, and we're going to send some of that evidence to them to run through their computer systems to see if we can match ballistics on what we located.
Anyone with more information is urged to contact the Ada Police Department. With the new administration in the White House moving at full swing, let's go over some of the changes that are or could be happening in our new segment, Laws of the Land. Vice President J.D. Vance is warning against excessive regulation of artificial intelligence at the AI Action Summit in Paris. Vance urged both allies and rivals to resist giving governments more control of technology. He shot specifically at EU regulation aimed at preventing the spread of disinformation.
We want to ensure the internet is a safe place, but it is one thing to prevent a predator from preying on a child on the internet, and it is something quite different to prevent a grown man or woman from accessing an opinion that the government thinks is misinformation.
The U.S. and the U.K. did not sign the summit's declaration, adopted by more than 60 nations, pledging an open, inclusive, and ethical approach to developing AI. President Trump ordered the wrong department's administrator to overthrow several environmental regulations. On social media, Trump told Environmental Protection Agency Administrator Lee Zeldin to, quote, immediately go back to my environmental orders, unquote, for several water-related household appliances. While Trump referred to EPA, the Department of Energy is tasked with household appliance standards. Still, the DOE has already made plans to roll back the Biden-era standards. President Donald Trump is calling for the end to the Federal Emergency Management Agency. In a post on social media on Tuesday, Trump said FEMA should be terminated, claiming it didn't do enough to help the people of North Carolina after Hurricane Helene. Trump suggested that letting states handle disaster relief would lead to big savings and greater efficiency. Experts have generally disagreed with that concept. The FBI has discovered roughly 2,400 new records related to President John F. Kennedy's assassination. The documents were found due to President Trump's orders to release more records related to the assassination of JFK, Robert F. Kennedy, and Martin Luther King Jr. The FBI said it's working on turning the documents over to the National Archives and Record Administration. President Trump has delivered a new ultimatum to Hamas, calling for all remaining Israeli hostages to be released by noon on Saturday. It comes as the president prepares to meet with the King of Jordan on Tuesday, one of the allies trying to keep the ceasefire deal intact. Natalie Brand has the latest.
President Trump is welcoming the King of Jordan to the White House today as he tries to pressure the ally to take in Palestinians from Gaza. While Jordan and Egypt have rejected earlier suggestions to relocate Palestinians, President Trump on Monday hinted at consequences if they don't agree.
If they don't agree, I would conceivably withhold aid. Yeah.
As President Trump doubles down on his proposal to redevelop Gaza, he faces pushback from the region. This Palestinian man says we will stay on our rubble. We will not leave.
There are also new concerns over the fragile ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas holding, as Hamas says it will postpone the release of the next round of Israeli hostages, accusing Israel of violating the agreement.
From the Oval Office Monday, President Trump threatened Hamas with his own deadline.
If all of the hostages aren't returned by Saturday at 12 o'clock, I think it's an appropriate time. I would say cancel it and all bets are off, and let hell break out.
President Trump didn't elaborate on what that could mean. Some Israelis worry about the impact.
We pay a price, and it's our soldiers, our boys, our sons, our husbands. These are the people who are going to be bearing those scars.
President Trump noted it's ultimately Israel's decision as to what happens next.
Thank you for watching today's News 12 Now. Make sure to subscribe so you find out why Texoma turns to us. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook, where you'll see more social media exclusive content. Want more News 12 now? Watch us live every weekday through the KXII app on your phone or TV and through our website.